We are so very happy that God has brought us together today. And, you know, we are going to ask someone who has read the book to come and to share with us the snippets. I have read the book. Michael, could you come along for us and share what you have read? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, the Honorable Minister, colleagues, good morning. I think I was introduced to the book and I've been one of the real pioneer readers of the book. I think it dates back from early 2010. And it was an opportunity for me to really place my hands on this book because I'm from a school that is a signature of the sort of students who come in from diverse socio-economic background, and they are challenged by various psychological concepts. The book, however, after several attempts to read the book, I have found out that the book really is the training that we all never had. It served to sensitize all stakeholders towards it, detecting what we may term real innate characteristics, those characteristics that we might just deem as anti-social behavior that is characterized by the type of students we get. But it alerts us to not only take a latent approach to these behavior, but to exercise parameters that are tangible to enable us to engage in social intervention to foster the social, emotional, and physical and healthy well-being of our students. Since I have read the book, I have adopted an approach to drop everything and listen to the children's needs. I may bring one scenario to the fore. One evening, I noticed a particular young lady not seemingly very happy. I was by the gate. As I said, our type of school, sometimes you have to be stationed by the gate. Sometimes you have to be stationed in the square of the town. And sometimes you have to be all around just to sort of control the disturbances that you may find. We have enacted a lot of social intervention programs, basically because of our experience with the book. This particular young lady, one evening, she was very sad. I approached her and asked her what was the situation. She told me that she was having a problem with her SBA and that she needed a thumb drive. It was completed, you know, the problems we face with SBA. However, she said hers was completed, but her parents would not give her the money to buy the thumb drive to come and export it to the teacher. Anyway, I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "Well, she's okay. She's going to get a thumb drive." I said, "No, let me go back up school and see if I can find a thumb drive and give it to you." So she was happy. She got the thumb drive and she exported. She did all that was necessary. Now, one day I was walking the rounds and I heard a little sound in what appeared to be like from one of the bathrooms. But because I was calling out to some other child in the distance, she probably heard me and tried to scamper away. But I just saw the tail of the uniform skirt. And I said, young lady, stop. You know, the term, freeze. So she stopped, and I went to her. I asked her, oh, I know you. I know you. You were the young lady with the thumb drive problem. She said, yes. Now, when I looked at her blouse, being an 11th grader, and for the type of young lady that she is, I said, well, you know, the era we are from, sometimes it rains, sometimes electricity goes. So I was noticing that her blouse was somewhat soiled. So I said to her that, did you have, you know, you proactively, you have to talk to them so that you're not talking down to them. So I said, did you have problems with electricity this morning? Rather than saying, oh, your blouse is so dirty for an 11th grader. And that I get those strategies I get from reading the book. So I said, did you have problems this morning with electricity? Did it rain? She said, no. I said, did you carry your bag frontwards? She said, no. So now she knows what I'm talking about. So I said, but your blouse is somewhat soiled for your age and your standards. And she didn't answer me. I said, I looked in her eyes and I saw that there was this sort of emotional disturbed appearance. So I said to her, could you kindly come to my office? She said, no, it's all right, I'm not coming. She said, no, I will walk you to my office. It's between me and you. And I have her sat there because nothing you could get out of her, no matter what question, how desperate you become, how deliberate, there was nothing you could get out of her. So I said to her, well, stay a while, and I'll seek a female teacher. Now, you have some type of teachers that are very cognizant of students' needs, some teachers that will go the extra mile, and they become very acclimatized to such teachers. And I called the teacher and said, all right, see if you can talk to her and so forth. And the teacher spoke to her. And really, the book was really fresh in my mind. So I was trying now to institute whatever practice I could have get from the book or could from the book. So we deliberated with her. Then the teacher called me outside and said, I think we have a serious case. So I said, how serious it is? I said, I think it's a suicidal case. Now, another thing that jumped on me now, I rushed out and rushed into the bathroom. And what I discovered in the bathroom, because we constantly in a dynamic stage of repair and maintenance, somehow the workmen and teachers, you have to be aware of what is left in these areas. You know how the bathroom have little cells like and the wall come up. And somehow the workmen inadvertently left some, what you call 2x2 lot over it. And apparently she was taking this opportunity to swing on the lot. So I immediately removed the lot and removed all foreign objects from around the place. You know, sort of appeal now to the social and safety security of our students. But we said we are going to question her further. And we said, can we search your personal effects? It's between us. If you have a phone or anything, we won't take it away. And so, and she said, yes. And surprisingly, when we searched, we found the belt tied, knotted in a manner, and her tie was attached to the belt. And when you examine the strain on the belt, you could see it form the angle around the neck, like the stress on it. So we asked her for her father's phone number, and I called the father and said, we have a problem with your child. No, what is happening with this child is that she had a sister who passed through the school and is at the University of the West Indies. And so forth, that sister now become the standard bearer of the family. And whatever mistake that this young child now makes, she is now compared to the older child and classified as a no good. You are no good. You are not like your sister. You are coming out to nothing. Yeah. So the day I called her father now and said, you have this daughter so-and-so. And he didn't even, I said, I'm the principal. He didn't even hesitate to hear what I was saying. I could say, well, let's call her Phyllis. Yes, Phyllis. Yes, I tell her, says, 8 picked me my mother have. And none of is like she's no good. I tell her I can't stand her. She's just for dead. And I said, exactly, that's what she is about to do. And him shut up same time. Whoa, what you say? I said, she was just about to grant your wishes. So he said he would come to see me. We took her to the hospital, and luckily we found a doctor who was quite sympathetic to these cases. So the doctor questioned her, and we placed her in observation, and we rallied around, guidance counselors, everybody support her, tell her that she is a fine young lady and there is something in life for her and so forth. And one day, I recognize her now going, we have what is called a retreat for grade 11, just about the time of CSEC. We take them off campus and sort of see if we can develop something. And when I saw her that day, she asked me for some money. I said, I'll give you the money. But the long and short of it is that she eventually got her own 7 CSEC, and she is doing well. So the book has enlightened me to be very proactive. Thank you very much.
Guess what? That was only the tip of the iceberg. You have to read the book. You have to read the book. The Thomases have been called to the kingdom at a time like this. Like Esther, you're called. I'm now going to ask that the people who are called to the kingdom to bring us into proactivity so we don't have to run and pull the gate and go through from Arden. They will come and take us through a presentation on Choose Life International, and immediately Faith will introduce the Honorable Minister, and we take it from there. By then, we would have landed at the airport, the Courtly. We will meet you in the Somerset room where the Honorable Minister will address us. Faith and Donovan, would you come, please?
Mrs. Joyce Townsend, moderator, Honorable Minister Ronnie Thwaites, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, pleasant good morning to you all. I am never quite sure what to expect when I call a principal's office. Some will speak to me, some will not. I know you're busy people. When I called Michael Lee's office, his first comment was, "Oh, you wrote the book." So the book got me to talk to the principal. We have been doing quite a few things. Faith and I, as you have heard on the video, feel a sense of call to help people live physically, emotionally, and spiritually. We believe in being proactive. From I served with Youth for Christ from a teenage years, in my teenage years, and even up until recently, I read a verse of scripture that said, understand the times. The children of Issachar who understood the times and knew what Israel ought to do. And that has been a guide for me as I have sought to be involved in youth ministry for over 30 years, to understand the times and to respond appropriately. We have the opportunity to be passive, reactive, or proactive. And we have got to choose what we do. I like to be proactive. And I say proactive is think carefully, choose wisely, and act deliberately. Think carefully, choose wisely, act deliberately. We grappled with whether or not to invite you to a meeting with less than 1 week notice. And I salute you, I say thanks to you for responding. I had other dates that minister's office gave, but unfortunately I'm in the middle of some health issues and I leave next week for surgery in the US, so you can be praying with me too. Okay, choose helping people live physically, emotionally, and spiritually. The purpose of today is really to expose you to something that we have been doing called the emotional assessment of children. We believe that there are signs that we can identify before the crisis arises. And I've spent probably close to 15 years just working closely, we're just looking at this tool. It is the basis on which my book is built. And we all know that suicide is at the end of a rope. It is not where it begins. And therefore, the passion that we have as we work with students and schools to identify their emotional profile is really driven by the fact that we can intercept them at a point. When you and I, not Reverend Ellis, were in high school, the problems teachers had included children chewing gums, running along corridors, speaking out of turns, and all kind of things happened to them. And my wife is coming close and said, Donovan, hurry up. I know, yes. What do we have today? You all know it. And I believe it is possible for us to understand the emotional profile of our children. And that's a service that we're offering you. Last year we did about 800 students. And it was really revealing to see some of what was happening. In fact, one school asked me to do an assessment of the class on a whole. And while in 2001, the Ministry of Health released something that said 11% of our students have attempted suicide, what I found in that particular setting last year is that 12% have attempted suicide. I didn't say thinking about it, you know. They reported that I have attempted suicide. And it's varying methods. Some of them have survived, but we want to help them. So I want to ask you to pull out your folders, and I've given you a green sheet. And what I'm showing you here is actually the questions that are used in the tool as we seek to ask our students to respond to that. It is in the letters that most of you would have gotten already. It is actually, it is what I refer to it as. The assessment is done in groups, as in a classroom setting, with each student completing a guided self-analysis questionnaire. And this is a questionnaire. So we walk them through it as groups. They respond to it. So it is what they are telling us that we are reporting. After we have received this, then we go through some computation, and we have developed a program that helps us to be able to crunch all of these 55 issues into 12 issues. And you can pull out your white sheet. I'm actually giving you a sample of something there. This is what we want to give you on each student. One page that says this is the student's emotional profile. We'll talk to you, tell you about their depressed mood, where they're at, their personal sense of devaluation, self-guilt, self-blame or guilt, hopelessness, suicide ideation. We will go further, and based upon what they have said, we will tell you whether or not they are high risk, low risk, or no risk to suicide, based upon what they have said. And then we'll make some recommendations. This particular student responses raised several concerns. high levels of poor self-control and aggression, self-blame, fearfulness, psychomotor agitation or retardation are among those issues observed. The person reported having had thoughts about killing self, having tried to do away with self, and having said to someone that he or she wanted to kill himself or herself. And we say counseling intervention is required immediately. We have created for you a little brochure that you can take. We have some extra ones too that you can get. But we want to be proactive. Almost every day we get calls from people who are suicidal or people who know somebody who is suicidal and want help. Up to yesterday, I haven't gotten a call since day 8. Up to yesterday, I got a call from one of your students. Yes, one of your students. I know the principal is here, that school that the person goes to. Because she is contemplating suicide. Suicide is at the end of the rope. We want to intercept them from the feel that they are dissed, that they feel that we want to intercept them from when they feel that nobody cares. We want to help them to find life and to find life with abundance.